Here we are with our third episode of Nighttime.
Is it really?
Yeah,
wow.
That's just 3.
We did it. We made it to 3.
We made it to 3 whole episodes. Just kidding, a lot more. In case you didn't listen to the other 2, this is the show where we talk about the show. Mainly because this one came about because we wanted to keep recording, but we didn't have quite enough time to do a whole episode. And so we're like, hey, let's just keep talking.
Yeah.
Let's keep talking.
There's a lot to talk about. There's quite a bit... There's quite a bit that has been developed over this last 2 episodes, I think, digest. Especially.
Yeah, for sure. So, it's not like we have any audience questions.
Yeah.
I don't know, so I guess I'll just start
How
with...
How do we even set that up?
Is that what, audience questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, audience, do you have any questions?
Right?
You should ask us those questions on our Facebook or our Instagram page.
And we'll do them next time on Night's Time.
On Nighttime.
If you know us in person, you can ask us too. And
that also works.
I might not forget.
If you send it digitally, then we'll definitely have it in the episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got receipts.
Well, here's when the next one's going to be. When the next Nighttime is going to be. And I'll preface that by saying, announcement, the end of Season 1 is drawing close.
What?
It's happening.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't quite know in how many episodes because we haven't recorded them yet. But within a couple, probably, we're gonna be wrapping up this coasterine scene. And
I see what you did there.
Thank you. And that'll be the end of Season 1. And then basically the 3 of us, we're going to take a little break. Time to rest. Time to spend...
Be not sick.
Be not sick.
That would be cool.
Time to spend with our babies.
Your excuse.
And also just to get...
The many children we all
that we
all of our
collectively share.
many...
Look, guys, if I had known that I would have other people to change diapers, let me tell you.
Yeah, no, you got all of that part. We just got to hang out for the cute baby bits. But yeah, so just some time to replan where the story's going to go, as much as we plan things. Also, just to get a little stockpile of episodes, maybe fine-tune our production process, maybe get some editors. Maybe get some editors to help us. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't know how long that break is going to be either. I would like to be back by our 1-year anniversary, though, in August.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Maybe have something special. So we'll obviously keep you posted as that's going on. Maybe even during it, there's a potential that we might just do some one-shot story things.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Jamie, you talked about you wanted to be...
I really love this idea I have in my head, and I don't know what exactly it would look like, but my thinking is an attempt, just a try, of me being this sort of quote-unquote game master.
The writer?
Yeah, sure. for a 1-episode-long, very short adventure.
Okay.
Kind of like a D&D one-shot, you know?
Sure.
And I think if it was kept to that confine where I could choose, like, a couple things, it wouldn't be 100% random. I would need to choose at least what the plot is going to be.
We don't all need a Mirjik in
No,
our
for
stories.
sure. I would need to at least choose, like, what's going to happen. And I think if it was just kept to 1 episode, I think I could do it. It might crash and burn horribly, but it would probably do so in a funny way, so that's just another benefit.
So we might do that during the break period, just to do something and try that out. And if it's cool, maybe we'll do more of it. But obviously, we will continue this storyline afterwards. So Season 2 will continue with these characters, so they're not going anywhere.
It's already exciting.
Just... Obviously, after this story beat, which will probably, again, we haven't recorded it yet, but probably end on a big cliffhanger moment, shift change. It'll just take place then. So Season 2 will exist at one point, and we'll keep it all posted. But after we finish Season 1, I do want to do a nighttime where we respond to questions you guys send in from the whole season. So if you already have questions, as Jake said earlier, send those on Facebook or Instagram, and maybe that'll remind me to post more on Instagram. So send us those away. That way. Send those this way.
Yeah.
Thank you. But now we're just going to talk since we don't have any questions from you guys yet. One thing I was thinking about, talking about Mirjik, is I really love Mirjik as a character in, like, the story art, like, the mechanics of this world. Because, like, he was in the story... You know, the writer uses him to make the story more predictable and push it along.
More predictable?
More unpredictable?
Sorry. The writer uses him to make the story more unpredictable.
Less predictable.
Keep that in, Nathan.
Less predictable. Makes the story less predictable and adds just more conflict and drama to it. And as far as it has been for me, as The writer,
That's exactly
it
what
has
you're
absolutely
doing.
done that. So
Yeah.
it very much does that, not just in the plot, but in real life.
Right, in a
does
very meta sense through the dice. That's what he does in our real world in making Knight's Quest.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Music is really just the manifestation of the mechanic of randomness that is tabletop role playing.
Right, exactly.
What
He is the character of
he
that,
is the
yeah.
analog dice roll.
You guys,
Yeah.
there are so many dice on this table. I think there's about 50 right now. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Like-
we don't use this.
And that's not even all of them. I have more dice. Like, there are other
I
dice
keep buying more dice.
here.
They're so pretty.
We should just take a picture of all the dice and post it on the Instagram.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that right now.
I
And
only
so
yeah.
when you guys
I only
go
have
back,
6. For some reason, I'm not afflicted by the madness of buying dozens and dozens of dice.
so when you guys go back in time, and
Yep.
and you because this post on Instagram will be posted before this episode goes up. You can date it. You can timestamp it.
Oh, that is weird.
Whoa, you're welcome. So I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, yeah, and just to we have some dice within dice, 30-sided dice.
Oh, yeah.
We have gold dice, not real gold, but they're beautiful. We have dice made from what are these?
They're
muskets?
not gold,
Civil
they're
War
better.
musket balls.
Civil War
Yeah, they're
musket
lead.
balls. We have some cheat dice that are only have 5s on it.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, so it's
What?
it's a trick pair. This one only rolls 7s or 11s.
Oh, I love
And then
it.
if anyone ever calls you on your shit, you were swapping
Swap them.
with the real dice.
Of course. Oh,
And then
that's
we
some,
have
that's some
dice
Road to
that
El
are,
Dorado shit. Yeah.
that are rotating. Then of course we have our 2-sided dice.
Loaded dice.
I'm a big fan of the injury dice, which is I believe a 10-sided die, maybe 12. But it's
12,
just a bunch
yeah.
of different body parts, and you roll it when you don't know what should be hurting in your story.
And then of course we have our D2,
Yeah.
which has all the other dice on it. That's going to go front and center.
D2.
I want to put all of our special ones in the front
Oh, yeah, yeah.
because they're weird.
This is going to take me forever to find mine again.
Don't worry, I know which ones are mine.
I'm a fan of the I don't know how to describe the shape other than like
Cylindrical dice.
yeah, they're kind of like an elongated. I keep wanting to say crystal, but that doesn't help describe the shape.
Yeah, it's like a multifaceted.
Yeah, like
prismatic.
it's like the Washington Monument.
So like an obelisk.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Get a little filter on there. No filter.
No, hashtag no filter.
hashtag no filter.
Yep, it's going to have hashtag no filter on it. That's going to should that be the only
That's
cover?
like the most dad thing to do because that's definitely not what that means, but it is
Yeah.
what that means.
Hashtag.
It's supposed
No
it's supposed to
filter.
be about like selfies and shit. No,
I
it's
captioned
true.
it. These are our dice. We love them all. Please send more.
It's like on Pensword. It's like love us, listen to us, send us cookies.
Yeah. Moms
Hashtag
love
no
us.
filters how it starts. I'm going to tag you guys in it.
Do it. You won't.
I'll tag Jake in it.
Do it. You won't.
Big little kid. On the D2. Done. That's it. That's the only tag.
I swear I will get an Instagram. Actually, by the time this episode goes up, I'll probably have already had an Instagram.
Nah, you won't.
That's a fucking time travel shit, isn't
You
it?
won't.
You still won't.
Maybe I'll do it later tonight. You don't know.
You won't.
Dice. I saw a really funny meme where it was like, my human brain. I don't need any more dice. I have plenty of them, and they're kind of expensive. I don't need more. My goblin brain, shiny. They go click clack.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
click clack. That's what they do. There's no other way to describe it. They click clack.
Let me go and ask you guys what has been.
You don't have to go. You
I
can
want
stay here and ask
to.
us.
I want to throw something out there because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is a funny bit and has nothing to do with anything more serious about story
Go for
stuff.
it. Do it.
So, God, I did it again. Oh, I want to tell you guys something funny. So during the execution scene, this is how I described it earlier, and I immediately realized that sounded awful. But I was thinking, I should have Rainer do something. I eventually decided against it, but I was like, what could he do where he is at the moment? Like, well, he's far away from the stage. He's backstage. Maybe he could throw something. And I looked out at my character sheet, and I just pictured, like, if during this really dramatic moment where the fire is beginning to spread and these criminals are kneeling about to be executed, just a fucking rotten cabbage soars in from the side. Like, it wouldn't help anything. It wouldn't save anybody. But for some
Stop.
reason, yeah.
Stop in the name of the law.
Actually, it would be against the name of the law.
Yeah,
Ooh.
damn.
Ooh. Let's go. What's your favorite moments been recently so far?
Definitely Quist becoming an all-powerful, well, not all-powerful, but much more powerful chaos wizard
Oh, yeah.
and going ham.
the slow realization that a chimera was actually going to be in the story, because I didn't understand what you guys were referring to.
Right, we were texting back and forth at the time.
And I didn't know this.
I wanted to keep it secret from Jamie as much as possible,
right.
but I also didn't want to get anybody's hopes up if it didn't work.
Right.
And then I rolled a nat 20 for Chimera.
Yeah, he's texting me like, "Oh, what giant beasts exist in the world?"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I said, "What's the biggest thing Quiz could get his hands on?"
And I was like, "Well, we can make one. It's a fantasy world. We can make one, and probably won't be bigger than like an elephant." And we're brainstorming that.
I texted him a gif of a chimera,
and I was
beautiful.
like, I just stared at him, and I'm like, "No," and he's like, "Please." And I'm like, "You have to roll for chimera," and so we rolled for our chimera as Jamie was doing his scene, and it was a 20, and I'm like, "Oh, there's gonna be a fucking chimera," and there was.
So from my perspective, I just hear my two buddies whispering about some secrets, and then all of a sudden Quiz rides into town like fucking Prince Aladdin.
Conquest, thank you.
With an army of woodland creatures and also a chimera.
Yes.
No, I definitely agree that was definitely a good moment.
It was
for
amazing.
Quiz.
Yeah.
Also, shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Never get over shit.
Oh,
I
rest in peace, my dude.
Rip shit.
In Umshit's first appearance, I feel like I almost suffocated.
That was
because I was coughing while I was laughing, and I was really hoping it was still funny to
Yeah.
everyone else that wasn't
Yeah.
here, and I've heard people did like it.
Yeah,
so
I definitely heard from people who I know in person who listen to this that are.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, thanks Maximilian Pegasus. He.
Thanks, Neil, my brother.
Yeah, they said it landed well.
So,
that's
great.
I think the moment that began the really upward climb was not the moment when he came on stage or when Jake started describing the act. It was the moment Jake said, "Wait." He loads another crossbow bolt, and he grabbed the dice a second time, and from there,
Which was unprecedented.
It was just magical,
right? Because usually in this game, you say you're going to do a thing, you make a roll, it doesn't work, you move on.
Right.
It's like no,
hold on. There have been a lot of times where we roll, it doesn't work, we do it again. Like
that's
when
true.
a song
That's
didn't
true.
work, or we tried to get the memories back. It depends on the situation.
Right, but usually not more than twice.
Right.
And
yeah.
I think we still want to have
Some
we
rules.
still want to have the first thing happen in story. It's not like I'm
You have
going
to
back
fail,
in time and
yeah.
retrying it. It's more like the character literally
There's
fucks
a
up.
reason for it. Yeah.
Well, we do have a
And then
device that lets
attempts
us
again.
rewind a little bit.
Yeah, it's
we
true,
Have
that's
we have
true.
a oopsie bracer,
I'm a
And
fan
a
of the
reversal
Oopsie
magic.
Bracer, yeah.
which I have both of. Ooh.
Oh shit!
Oh, damn.
Oopsie bracer plus. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to put the oopsie bracer on the reverse-o-matic.
no. What if you use the oopsie bracer and then you hit the oopsie bracer with the reverse-o-matic?
Oh
It might happen.
Black hole.
It might happen.
We have
That's where we got the picture of the black hole.
Another time step, folks. Another time step. That just
Yeah.
came out yesterday. Yeah, we have so many cool items, and I'm kind of glad I stopped giving them out because I think we have enough tools in our belt to do shit. I gave out a bunch at the beginning because I wanted to give you guys things
And
to
that's
use.
why I tried to get rid of a couple of them with his Ajax, but I couldn't think of any good reasons to.
Yeah. They've all been used. I think Quiz definitely uses his stuff pretty darn well.
Quiz uses his stuff all the time.
And the
Jonathan-
disguise kit has come in handy.
Yeah, a lot.
It used to be I was like, you gonna use that? You gonna use it? And now I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
The disguise
Good
kit
work.
is the best.
What's your favorite special item? Tell us
The
tell us
Mystic
in the
Pouch,
comments.
definitely.
Mystic Pouch is best item.
What do you guys think the Mystic Pouch does?
Nobody
Tell us in the
knows.
comments.
Yeah, put it down in the comments. What do you think the Mystic Pouch does?
I finally wanted to use it, and then I figured out it was too small.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
it's
wanted
like
to
a
put.
one-apple
I
sack.
definitely cut it out.
Yeah.
He wanted to put like the cabbages in it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't.
It's too small.
Guys, I don't know what to do with this bag because me in real life knows that if I put something important in there, there's a good chance it might get damaged or I will not get it back. I don't know what to do, but
Well, I
I
mean,
want to
you don't-
use it.
You don't know what it does.
Exactly, I have
It
no
could
idea
make
what it
everything
does.
that we put in there.
It's mystical, but it was spelled like the word mistake. So I know there's something weird about it.
And it was sold to you by Mark and Mark.
I love Mark and Mark.
Mark it, Mark
I
for
miss Mark and
one
Mark.
for one puck. How
That bargaining scene was by far one of my most and least favorite
Oh God!
conversations
Can
to
we
have.
can we never talk about that again?
Let's
I'm
talk about the
so
bargaining
fucking
scene real quick.
We're
embarrassed.
talking about it right now.
Because I, as a human being, want you as a human being to understand the concept that is bargaining.
It was awful.
It was
It was
hard.
no bueno. It was much longer than the version that is presented in the episode.
Yeah.
Much longer.
It really took forever, you guys. It was very painful for me personally, and I was the one causing it. I just didn't know what to do, and for some reason I was getting really worked up about that. Even though it was like the lowest stakes possible, I was just like, I have to come up with something. So that led me to come up with nothing for a good half an hour. It was really bad.
Now, next question for you guys. We've been introduced to the king in the past 2 episodes, and we've heard about him before. What are your personal thoughts on King Edward? Good king, bad king?
Okay, king.
Okay king?
But this king is just right.
Personally, I am not a fan. That's just me.
That's just you.
Yeah.
Well, the guards are coming for you now.
That's
Fucking
fine.
dead.
That's
Well,
fine.
I mean, between all of my characters, Jonathan's ambivalent. Katrina does not like him, but he is a means to an end. Conquest loves the guy. They're best friends.
They're such good friends, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to deal with if the king ever meets Conquest again. I don't know what I should do.
Do you think it's part of his enduring friendship that he doesn't have any desire to like go after him?
Maybe.
Track him down?
Or he frames someone else.
The very first thing we learned about the king was back in Hidgety, when Pedgwick was telling us some stuff about the war, and particularly that like this war didn't have to continue, but the king wanted it to. Mm-hmm. And from that perspective, we kind of know that it's been dragged out when it didn't need to be. So right away, I had the impression of like, this sucks, right? This is a really rotten situation, and the king is a big part of it. But it's also fascinating to show up in Costa Rica and see all the people who don't feel that way, and all the people who are super on board with, yeah, like, we're the good guys. Like, everything's gung-ho.
It has a very, like, Hunger Games
little bit
feel to it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where, like, the people that are in it, you know? And also, in a similar way, the people who are the closest to the regime are the people who are most far removed from the conflict, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Both like, mentally and
Physically, yeah.
Geologically.
Yeah.
Because Hidgety was closer to Pools.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they have firsthand experience of how this conflict has messed with their town.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, in Costa Rica, you don't see that.
Right.
Side festival. Yay!
Yay!
we're
Everything's
partying.
great.
Woo,
There's fireworks.
So lifelike.
Great
Really,
fireworks.
firework singular, really.
It was one big firework.
Yeah,
Bilbo Baggins would be proud.
very lifelike.
Good. Yeah, good. I'm glad you dislike the king. I'm going for that vibe.
I like his voice.
Thank you. I was torn about it because I'm like, oh, he sounds like, he doesn't sound very regal with it, but I do have a reason in story why that's the case. So
I don't even know 100% if you need one. It's just a very different voice from all your other ones, so I think it works.
you. I've realized many times that I use the same voice in a couple of places.
You got like 5 voices.
I do.
Which isn't a bad thing. You do them very well.
And that's more than most people have. Like,
I do slip into my Leroy voice in my normal life.
you've done that. I've heard you do it. It's super weird.
Because before this podcast, it was just one of my voices I had.
Right.
But now it has a name.
Right.
It actually, I went back in time. I can originate where it started with. When I was a volunteer leader for my middle school youth group, we decided to help with make the announcements more entertaining. We would have a cactus give the announcements.
Oh my god.
His name was Dave the Cactus. And so I was the voice of Dave the Cactus.
Oh,
and
good.
so I would hide behind one of the walls and just be, it's Dave the Cactus. And I every week had a cactus factus. A made up fact about cacti.
Oh, it's so youth group.
It was
really
so
is.
funny. And the kids obviously figured out it was me, but I denied it. Stop shuffling those cards. We can hear that in the audio.
I know.
It's some ASMR.
No, it's this is what happens when we do nighttime. I fish
true.
with random bullshit.
We do. At least it's not pasta this time. But the kids would always figure it out, and I denied it. And so one time, to prove them wrong, I recorded myself doing Dave and had a conversation with myself.
Whoa.
I was very proud of that.
That's actually super cool.
Cactusception.
So that's where the voice of Leroy came from. You know?
I've heard you do that voice in other situations, and it's very confusing because if I didn't have this context, it would just be like, oh, Nathan's doing a funny voice, and that would be funny. But because of the context, it suddenly feels as though a fictional character has taken over my friend.
Oh no!
And is
me
now
back Nathan.
speaking. And it's very disconcerting.
I also go into Noble's voice sometimes too.
Oh,
And
why?
Just when I'm upset, I'm like, bitch, please.
Yeah, I have heard that one before, yeah.
Yeah, I can picture that.
It actually, they do appear in moments where it should be a Leroy or Like, if I do something stupid, I'm like, oh, dang it. Oh, I screwed up. And so I guess I do become those characters, which is problematic because Noble is racist, and I'm thinking sexist, too.
It's easy to forget.
I'm thinking he might also be sexist,
He had one amazingly offensive scene, but because it was a while ago, it's tempting to forget about it.
Yeah, don't forget. All right, my next question for you guys.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
One of the unsolved mysteries of the story so far, and I'm doing this to remind the audience as much as you guys, the random scorched areas in the field.
I've been wondering about that. Yeah.
I don't remember whether that was something we just added for flavor or whether that was something that was intentional.
Both.
Okay.
Like, I didn't make them up on the spot. They were definitely
Gotcha.
planned on being there, yeah.
I was confused at first because we found that at the same time we were creating a new creature, and I somehow got the idea in my head that, like, the Mistwalkers were somehow doing it. Like, they could burn things or something.
Yeah, sure. We did meet a Mistwalker.
Because that isn't true, I didn't immediately realize that this was something we don't know the answer to. So now, of course, I'm more curious than ever. Like, what is going on with that forest? But we didn't really spend enough time in there to figure it out or start investigating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, places to be.
Yeah. We had a sun festival to get to.
Quist did it.
Quiz traveled back in time.
Earlier.
Back in time.
So, guys, I hope you guys are all excited for later on in the series when Quist goes back in time.
And uses the dragon spit ring to burn them all.
Yeah.
There's
a battle where Quist and Conquest fight in the Mistwoods.
Oh no!
Yeah.
He like gets split. Is he fighting himself or is it like a separate form?
No. There's two of them. Like Quist and Conquest.
Wait, hold on.
Are physical bodies.
But Quist is from a different point in Conquest's lifetime. Like he's later and comes back and fights his past self.
Who is also coming back in time to meet the original Conquest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't wait till that loops back around.
That's gonna be great. That'll be great.
I'm pretty sure
that's season 3 at least.
I'm pretty sure this is the plot of Kingdom Hearts.
We have at least 18 less copies than Kingdom Hearts. It is necessary.
I have something kind of random.
Cool.
And you can cut this if you want. But I just want to highlight Neil's comment on one of our Facebook questions. What do you want to see sold at Honest Ajax's cart?
Oh, I love that one.
Have we shared this yet on our show? Because it's incredible. Neil, my brother, did not just write one answer to this question.
Shout out, Neil.
Thank you, Neil. He didn't just write one answer. He wrote, I want to say 10? So, without further ado, here is some things that may or may not be sold at Honest as Ajax's Caravan of Wonders. The Tambourine of Paralysis. The Gauntlets of Chess Mastery. A baby tiger. A 14-apple sack full of dead stink beetles.
I appreciate the measurement.
This one just says high heels for Quiz. I don't know why.
So he can be taller.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Only Quist would know.
Rubber ring. Your body turns to rubber. I'm a fan of that one. A recipe for devil bread. I don't know what that is, but it sounds amazing.
Obviously, devil bread.
This one's probably my favorite. Fear shears. Cut someone's hair or fur and learn their deepest fear. That is an amazing item, and I'm so happy that that image is in my head now. The Monocle of Massacres. Shows you the best way to dispatch the enemy you're looking at. And finally, Katrina's mom. I made sure to put that one last because that was actually my favorite.
Yes.
So, if you want more of Neil's comments, follow us on Facebook page, at nights.quest.podcast. You can leave your own comments too.
Yeah.
I love seeing people's comments, even if they're like just simple. Like one of them was, "Would you spin the amulet a chance?" Mine's a no. I would not do that. I was surprised that a couple of you guys would. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting. I do post more on Facebook than I do on Instagram. I'll say that. Also, fan art. Thanks to those who have made that. That's really cool stuff.
We put up the PB picture,
yeah,
right?
Oh yeah.
Because that's my favorite thing ever. I have it still. It's on my wall. I love it very dearly.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks,
Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. Is Kelly still making Fanimated?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think so.
Hey, go check out Kelly's podcast, Fanimated.
Yes, it's on a break.
They're on there.
Things got kind of crazy when she moved, so she wanted to take a bit of time. So technically, there haven't been new episodes for a little while, but
there's
you should still. Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie and Jake are in a couple, so...
Yeah.
Which ones are you guys in?
I'm in the Samurai Jack one.
I'm in the Voltron kind of series, because we did a whole bunch of short recordings. I'm in the one for the DreamWorks movie Megamind, And the one I'm most proud of is like the second or third one on the whole channel, which is Big Hero 6. I think it's an underrated movie, and I think I have a pretty good case for why it's really good, and I'm very proud of it.
I don't think it's underrated, but I just really like it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good movie. Yeah, so check those out if you're craving more of us talking. And of course, always Pensword. Plug that.
Pensword.
Pensword.
I'm fascinated by Tariv.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to get there.
Yeah, like...
I'm also excited to figure out what Katrina did as her crime. Because I don't know.
I like how you say figure out as if it is not your decision.
There have been multiple times, I would say, that we have found out character things in the moment.
That's true. You know what? That's a good point.
Where, like, we discovered, this is how this is right now. And that's how it is.
And that's how it is.
And
that's still one of my favorite
said.
lines from the entire show is when the farmer was like, "That's how it is. That's how it is, son. That's how it is." That's how. And then he said it the fourth time. That's how it is. The reason I'm so excited about Tariv is,
hopefully we go there. We don't know.
Yeah, we haven't decided for sure, but I'm leaning towards I want Raynor to go there because Raynor, like. I feel like in the last couple episodes, Raynor has had a little bit of a shift where now there's something he's very concerned about, which is the amulet and the two things that happened to Leroy and Quiss. And because he kind of feels like both of those are a little bit his fault, he really strongly wants to fix that situation, right? And what I'm thinking is, we don't know where Quiss is at the moment, so it makes sense to go somewhere you could learn about magic items, how to know more about what happened, stuff like that. So it would make sense to go and try to like see what he can suss out in Tariv in terms of helping his friends, because he still thinks of Quiss as his friend. He doesn't know the details of what happened, but he wants to fix that whole Mirjik situation.
Now, I will say this, not to throw a wrench in your plan, but Rillian is also a place that is a master of magic. To suss out the difference, Rillian has like magic universities.
Okay.
And like studies, and they're constantly developing new forms of magic and new ways to make it safer and easier. While Tariv has a lot older magic.
Interesting.
In some ways darker, but not always. Obviously,
okay.
Not everyone's evil in Tariv. Yeah, it's a lot more ancient magic, and they don't really do research, but they do know a lot about old things.
Yeah.
Not like the old ones. We're not.
Right.
Not yet.
My plan is already full of wrenches, so that's fine.
That's fine. Just a toolbox of wrenches.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of toolboxes.
Yeah. They're all
a lot
angles.
Of wrenches,
they're
a lot of pans in the fire.
Yeah.
A lot of wrenches in the pan. It's a hot mess.
Fires in
I don't
the
know
wrench.
how to cook.
Yeah. Don't know how fires work.
Please help.
How do fires work?
What's a wrench for?
You take the wrench, right.
Heat it up. No salt.
This is how you make a fire.
Yeah, for sure. I will admit, that is one thing I'm proud of, that we've gone straight on for... I think this is probably 38 weeks now.
12.
I mean, we've done that many weeks straight without missing one.
12.
We almost did.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say it's impressive how we've gone 38 weeks without our protagonist having any sort of plan or motivation.
with having a vanilla.
Not a clue in the world.
He's just sort of...
But that's one of the things I like about Raynor is, I think at the beginning, I wouldn't say frustrated, but I'm like,
I was
Raynor,
frustrated. You can say that.
Yeah, you got to do something.
Yeah,
you have to have a motivation, but you're just like, I don't know who I am. What's my purpose in life?
Well, that was real. That was me in real life being frustrated because I didn't know what to do with this character.
Now I really like it because that's what makes this story different. Is in every other story, you have your protagonist and they go out and they do a thing and then they solve the problem. But in this story, the problem is he doesn't know what he's supposed to do.
It is interesting that he was given the designation of hero and like important person before there was a super important thing that he had.
Before there was really anything. The problem was, go get 2 types of leather, red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow leather.
Get some bread.
That's where it all started.
Yeah. Oh my God. And they pranked his room.
Hard.
It was wonderful. Simpler times, really.
It was.
I would have. It was less. Well, there was the same amount of murder, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less.
There was less murder.
Guys, I'm very fond of our episode 1. It has a lot of good memories for me, even though the audio sucks.
Yeah, when there was the part where Nathan went,
That's gonna sound awful.
That is actually the other main reason why I want to do a season 2.
Yeah.
Is my goal is that at the end of this season, we kind of wrap up a lot of loose threads. Obviously, there's still going to be some mysteries and whatnot, but make it so that way people can start season 2, episode 1 without listening to season 1.
I like that idea. I think
so they don't have to. Yeah, they don't have to sit through episode 1. They can still go back and listen to it if they want to, because I do still like it. But I also agree, it's very long.
Yeah.
Not great audio, and not a whole lot of like stuff happens. But I still love it.
There was a video somebody shared with me. It might have been you. It was about podcasts. And it was like, hey, here's some tips and tricks. Here's things you should keep in mind when you're starting a podcast. And we had already started.
Yeah.
But I'm watching this video and I felt so personally called out because we broke like every single one of those rules.
What?
The first rule was like, record your first episode, now delete it.
Yeah.
It's trash.
It's not good.
Don't publish
Start a new
it.
one.
And I'm like, oh
yeah.
no.
And it was like, make your first episodes very short. And I was like, ours is 2 hours. It was rough. It was like being judged.
But now we know.
Yeah.
Now we're there.
And we're learning and we're getting better.
So we might even, I really want to do it like a season 2 trailer.
Oh my God.
That'd be cool to make. So we'll have recorded the stuff, and then before we release any of it.
I didn't. Okay, now I get it. Now I got what you're saying.
Some big moments, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
A lot of good things to look forward to. Tell your friends. I'm not afraid to self-promote. Although I can't at my work, because I work at a church with children, and we swear.
That is a little bit... No, but for real, that does make it a bit more tricky to talk about in some situations.
Right.
Like,
because I'm not ashamed. I do believe, like, my personal belief is, like, I don't think swearing is, like, wrong. Obviously, I think it can be used, like, to be angry at someone, but I also think it's a way for people just to bond and feel close. There's also contexts you shouldn't swear, because some people do find it uncomfortable. Hence why, I don't swear around the kids, because people will get mad about that, and I can respect that. But I swear here because I know you two are okay with it, and I'm assuming you're okay with it listening to it because you're still listening.
Jokes on you. Not, then... I've always been super offended. I just kept it to myself.
And it's okay if you're offended. So I'm glad you still listen if you're offended.
You're lying the whole time. I'm offended now that you've been lying to us.
You guys can't see it because it's audio, but every time I swear, I like visibly like.
He just falls. He collapses. Collapses.
There's like a physical reaction. My body rejects it.
He almost vomits.
The light, it comes out of the sky. And there's a fireball somewhere.
He almost gets smoked.
It's tricky because you're proud of this thing you've worked on.
I'm very proud of this.
But I get what you're saying because it's a little tough to.
I don't want to promote it to
me,
my
it's
parents.
My family. Yeah.
Like they'll ask me like, oh, so I'll like let it slip like, oh yeah, recorded. And they're like,
yes,
oh,
exactly.
What's the show? And I'm like, oh.
Like I want to tell you about it because I'm happy with it and I'm proud of it, but I say a lot of really dumb shit.
My thing is like, because like I just discovered the other day that my mom listens to Pensword, and I'm like, oh okay, which is fine until I make like really not okay jokes.
Right, exactly.
For the purpose of comedy.
You don't want to picture your parents listening to that.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not going to change how I do it because at the end of the day, that's just the way it is, and I'm not going to try and be somebody different just because certain people are listening. I'm going to be me because that's what makes me funny. That's what makes me Jonathan, and what makes me Katrina, what makes me Quiz, and all of those things are all facets of me.
Now, I will say that if any of my family members or people that go to my church are listening to this, you've sifted through a lot to get to here, but yay, we're here.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for listening
and your patience
and not judging me harshly.
God bless.
But for real though, I do love my Jesus.
When you brought up your characters, it made me think. I wanted to say this earlier. I really want to emphasize how much easier I have it to only keep track of one character. Like this is going to sound weird. I don't know if you've ever done this, people, but like. If you try your best to make like a weird different voice and then you go back and listen to it, a lot of times it's very much like, oh, when I was saying that, I thought it sounded super crazy and weird and unique, but then you listen to it and you realize it wasn't that different.
It's very like cartoony or caricature-ish.
Right. Or it just sounds very similar to your regular voice.
Right.
So like it's really, really tough to come up with a totally new sound. I don't ever do it. Like, that's why I'm beyond impressed with both of you guys. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh, thank you.
Because even when we make jokes about how you only have 5 voices, that's a lot, actually. That's very impressive.
And that's a shitty thing to say, but realistically what I mean is like Nathan has very specific characters.
I completely agree.
I've said that. Like I've said that to you.
I agree. Because I don't know if we had this on the episode before, but I have my I go deeper voice, which is Grorg and Salazar, and a little bit of Baz Al Ghul. And I also have my one where I go up here.
And you have your generic old person voice.
Yes, my old person, which I can just make higher pitched to be an old woman.
And your and your regular lady voice.
That's just higher pitched.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
softer.
Just a softer voice.
I'm personally,
and then I've also got this one.
Oh yeah, I like that
which
one. I like
is
that one.
Wallace
that
and
voice.
Ajax.
I'm a big fan of Hello, my son.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this
The gravelly voice. I think
My
that's
gravelly
5. Yeah.
Hold on, we've got more.
We've still got Leroy. Yeah.
And
6.
he's his own thing.
Yeah, it's at least
His
6.
own voice. Wow, we got more than I thought.
I've got
At least 6.
I've
least
got
6
I've got basically just me and apparently the slippery one,
Yeah.
who's really just like, it's just sort of a variation on like your Morty voice, if
Yeah,
I'm being
a
honest.
little bit.
Oh jeez.
Which we all can do. We
There's
all have
not
that.
there's
'Cause
not
I
a lot
have-
of creativity in that one.
Because that's
yeah.
Wallace's assistant is basically that voice too.
Oh, yeah.
The weak and feeble guy. Oh no, Philip. Yeah, we have 3 people, 3 characters with the same voice.
Philip.
The slippery one, Wallace's assistant, and Philip are all a Morty voice, but just from each of us.
I have a very little memory of Philip.
He's the Pidgety kid.
Everyone hates him
Pidgey
for no
farmer?
reason. Yeah,
His dad
they were
hates
just
him?
super mean to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you learned the secrets because of the Eagles thing, and you learned the secret that he wasn't being like abused or anything. They're just mean to him all the time for no reason.
I also realize we've had a lot of different things that get people's secrets pried
yeah,
out.
right. It's almost turning into a theme. Is
We've
like
got
secrets and
let's
information.
run down all of our themes: identity crises, secrets,
Definitely
randomness,
secrets and information, randomness.
kind of destiny.
I would say some story elements like plot and
Yeah, well, I mean that's just writerism. Yeah, but
oh yeah, exactly.
for
But
sure.
it's still
I guess plot and destiny.
pranks,
Yeah,
pranks, definitely pranks.
pranks is a theme.
I don't know if it's necessarily a theme within the story, but it's definitely a theme with how Knight's Quest works. But realism, and I mean that in the sense not that we're doing a fantasy show, but in the sense that as much as we can, we try and have our characters react as real people would react to the
Right.
situation that they're presented with.
Like we haven't.
I think I know what you mean.
It's not like an adventure where it's just like, yes, I have the sword of destiny, and I will go slay the dragon now. Whereas if like a real person, like, here's a sword, go kill a dragon. No! I am a person with no abilities.
Right. Which kind of makes sense why Raynor is kind of hesitant to be the hero, because, like, I mean, if you're like, hey, you're going to go do this epic thing, you'd be like, no, I'm going to live my life. Thank you.
Right.
Like, I don't need to do this.
I got a bat. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
which is dope.
I got my bet. The comparison I think of is like if I was playing a video game and I had a character who was like, "Oh, you're the hero," I would be like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it!"
Shit,
and I would,
yeah, you're
and
right.
then I would jump off of a building to see what happened because I can just load my save.
And you're
point,
like,
right?
no fall damage. Sweet.
And this feels so different because we don't have any of those elements
Right.
of. And you look at when you're thinking of things coming back in a major way, you look at Knight's Quest, where in episode 1 I found this weird treasure out of nowhere.
Or was it episode 2?
I thought it was 1. It could be 2.
1 or 2, yeah.
And 30 episodes later, that didn't come in handy. What it did is turn one of my friends into a serial killer.
Much,
that has come back in a major way, but not in a way that anyone could have guessed, including us. You know,
Again,
it's like super fun.
That's why I love this show and the improv and, I mean, just Mirjik in general and the dice, is that every time we sit down to record, I don't know what's going to happen. I have an idea sometimes of like, oh, we're going to finish the contest, or the king's going to show up. But I didn't know Quist was going to go to the palace and try to kill the king. I didn't know that. You know? So I was sitting there at the edge of my seat like, what's going to happen? What would the burn shards do?
Bizarre.
They'd make fire swords. What random magic? Oh shit.
And we're best friends.
friend.
Yeah.
He was the best friends one, which we have record to show makes legitimate best friends out of conflict situations.
Yeah, that's the only time it happens, actually, because we don't usually use any little chance outside of conflict.
Right. I like to imagine that Grorg's friendship started on a lie, but
now
then
they
it
just
has
yeah.
become something more real.
Yeah. I think I would agree. I would agree.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to end it with the 2 questions that we always have to end nighttime with is, what do you think is going to happen, and what do you want to happen?
Oh boy.
Next in the story.
The first thing coming up is going to be playing for the king. And I don't know, because I still have to kind of work through what Raynor's actually going to do. So what I'm hoping for is that it plays out in a way that matters and leads to something important. I'm really trying here, folks. Also, I'm still sick.
Was that both of your things?
No. What was the other? What do we think is going to happen?
What do you want to happen?
Well, now that we've made tentative plans to play the song for the king, go to Tarif, I can only assume
no one has responded to.
I can only assume
yet.
None of that will happen, and some other bullshit will derail us completely.
Music teleports you to.
He could. He
somewhere.
literally could. That's what's very special and also sometimes frustrating about this show, is that Mirjik can just fuck us up.
I think what I want to happen, I want Conquest to come back in a big way and potentially start to pull in some of the outer plot points and make them more main story. I also want whatever Katrina is hiding to be brought to light, and I want people to go to Tarif. Whoever does, I want people to go to Tarif because I want to go to Tarif. What I think is going to happen
to Tarif!
I think
2 days.
I think Quiz is going to end up back somehow eventually.
I hope so, man.
Well, I mean, I do too, but I want to fuck around with Conquest for a while. I think that we're going to scramble around and find some sort of solution for Katrina's issue, and maybe go to Tarif. I don't know.
Because I'll be honest, in prepping for this story, there's a chance that we could go to Tarif. That's always been kind of a chance ever since Katrina left. But then I was like, but maybe we might go to Rillian because Gork might want to go home. Or we might go to Pools. Or we might go to any of the other countries that we have not even begun to talk about on this show. So there's a big world out there with a lot of crazy things. And we've been chilling in Glenwood, which is arguably the most plain out of all of the kingdoms.
Oh, you know what I just realized? Everyone in Goldon thinks we're coming down here to sell better, and then we're coming back.
Yeah, fuck them.
I gotta write my dad a letter.
Fuck them, they don't even know.
Heck them straight to heck.
Alright, well, thank you guys for constantly listening. Appreciate that.
Well, not constantly listening. I mean, you must take breaks.
Yeah, you take breaks between the week.
I mean, in a perfect world.
You're not continuously listening.
On repeat. I do see that in the statistics. People don't do that constantly on repeat.
Yeah.
I can verify that does not happen.
Thank you guys for listening. Obviously, we'll see you guys on Friday. We won't see you. You'll hear us on Friday with the next episode. I'm excited for whatever that's going to be.
I'll see you on Friday.
We'll keep you posted on how many episodes are left in the season. If I know, I'm going to put it right here. There are 2 more episodes left in the season. And if that was silent...
17!
Oh shit, there's so many.
500.
If I don't know, then it was left blank and you heard all of our joke answers instead.
Of course.
Or you still heard all of our joke answers even though there was a correct one.
You'll never know.
Which one is it? You get to guess.
It's like waiting for Homestuck.
Alright, you guys have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
That's good.
Unnecessary talk.
What are we talking about?
A lot of unnecessary talking. Knight's Quest 2019.